this is Max with Best Bass Gear, and I'm going to be installing a OBP-2 preamp into this P-Bass guitar. And for those of you that don't know, that's a preamp made by Aguilar, and for those of you who have been paying attention in the newsletter, it's the very one that was wired up for me by our technician Evan. First thing I'm going to do is just cut free the pickup leads and the ground lead from the bridge and do all the assembly work with the pickguard. Whole variety of different wrenches out here to do this. These control pods I'm taking off for 10mm. The output jack I'm removing is 12mm. And then I'm just going to put the old controls to the side. Here's the preamp that Evan made for us. Comes with all kinds of nuts and washers, and I'm just going to take them all off for right now. I'm just going to check the fit in the pickguard for each part, make sure that they'll fit, and it looks like I'll have to enlarge 2 of the holes. I like to do that with a tapered reamer. Works pretty easily, and then I just check the fit with each part. The volume knob fit. On this particular preamp, it's pretty simple. We just have a master volume control followed by a bass and treble stack and a jack. Doesn't get much simpler than that. Now that I've got them all fitting, I'm going to try to install each one with a single lock nut. The bushing on the stack pot is a little longer than I'd like. It's because we're mounting it in a pickguard. So I could take one of the extra nuts and put it on the back, but in my experience those tend to loosen up. So what I'll do instead is I'll put a stack of 4 lock nuts behind it. I bought these lock nuts at the Home Depot. Come in little packages like that, and That's better. It helps the fit of the knob set. If you get that right. Same thing for my volume control. Bushing's a little long, so it'll be 4 lock nuts, I guess. And then the jack nut tightens with a 1/2-inch wrench, nut driver I should say. The stack pot tightens with a 1/2-inch wrench. Not quite enough bushing. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to take 1 lock nut off. Tightens that. Now that everything's secured, we have to put connections together. Evan makes this really easy for us. And there's really just 2 connections. So off of the jack, he leaves us a short black wire. And this is primarily for the purpose of attaching bridge ground wire. So I'm just going to strip, expose, and twist up some of that. And just going to add the pickup ground wire right to it, just in one simple step. Get all the grounding done all in one solder connection. Use a piece of heat shrink tubing. So for a little splice like this, I like to get the wires twisted together. Come in with my side cutters, get rid of the excess wire. And then the only other connection that you need to make, 'cause this is just so simple, is the pickup wire. Don't even need to strip this wire. This is what they call pushback cloth wire. piece of heat shrink tubing. Yeah, you know my second thought. Right here. You could do it either way. Evan leaves us a small piece of wire where the input should go, and if you're uncomfortable soldering something to the potentiometer, you can solder something to that wire. It'll make it a little bit easier for you. If you're inclined, you can just remove that wire and solder the pickup wire right to the tab on the pot. And then we just need a battery. And then here's perhaps the trickiest part. How do you fit all these things in there? But it should fit fine. Just blowing the dust out of there. And just kind of try and see where things are going to fit. I have to miss where the taller concentric pot is going to be. Yeah. It's always a good sign when it works. You may find that you have to rotate some of your parts to get the fit just right. In this case, I need to rotate my jack. Also going to bend a few of the tabs slightly. It's a little bit tight. But it definitely will fit. And then just test the control of each, or the function of each control. And it's worth mentioning that the orange strings that this young player has on the bass, which are DR coated strings, are actually the coating is actually an electrical insulator. And what that means is that ordinarily you'd have
conductivity across the string. Here I'm using a electrical meter set to the conductivity setting, and I should be able to test across every component in the bass. And the bridge itself is testing for conductivity, as it should, and it in turn should be making contact with the strings, but in this case they're not. What that means is, even though these strings give the bass the look that the player is looking for, it's not doing it any favors in the noise department. And you can hear that when you turn up the high frequency, and you hear how it gets significantly quieter when I touch it. And that's what it's supposed to be like all the time when you're touching the strings. And it won't do it with these strings. So I'm going to recommend to the player that he try a different string if he's concerned about the amount of noise that he gets when he boosts the high frequency now. And that's pretty much it. That's installing preamp.